Okay, happy Friday, Stevie. Apologies for this video being like in my car. As you know, I just saw you like a few hours ago, and I haven't made a video yet, so I have to go to work after this, so I'm just gonna make my video in the car. Thing two, my batteries in my camera are about to die. That person just stared at me. Batteries in my camera are about to die, so I don't know how long this video is gonna be, until the batteries die. So, yeah. So first, cut to this clip about me and my opinion on your last video about driving. I am very frustrated. I got about 20 miles outside of where Stevie lives, and then the interstate that I was supposed to be on, just like, without warning, just forced us onto an exit. No detour signs, nothing, just like, the cones just kept merging us, and then we were on an exit. I was like, okay. And then there were no detour signs, and we went 15 miles, and finally, like, miles ahead, they, like, finally said, oh, detour at exit 15. I was like, okay, you could have said that earlier. So we went 15 miles out, and then took this road in, and then now we're on this, like, tiny little back road. So, like, before we even got on this little back road, I waited literally, I think, 30 minutes in this line of cars. It was, like, this huge line, mostly trucks, some cars, trying to get onto this detour. But because, like, this isn't, like, a well-used road, and this is a detour for, like, a major interstate, it was crowded. And, like, waited literally 30 minutes, and then as I'm turning, these two cars try to come in from, like, the other lane and cut in front. I was like, no! I, like, never honked my horn, and I honked my horn. I was like, no! Fuck you! I was like, I waited 30 minutes to get in this spot. You are not fucking getting in here right now. Of course, they cut me off anyway, but, like, I had to express my anger. Waiting in this line of cars on this stupid fucking back road. I don't know if I'm ever getting home. And cars keep continuing to cut us off along the sides. This car in front of me is like, so he's like scooted between the two lanes, and so like cars can't like come by and cut us off. Cause this huge truck in front of us literally cut us off. I was like, how does a fucking truck cut us off? I'm literally so angry right now. I have been driving for like over an hour, I think, and only made it like 20 miles outside of my like starting point. So who knows if I'm ever getting home. I'm probably going to be late to work. That's not really my biggest concern. I don't want to be wasting gas. I don't want to be in this car for longer than I have to be. So, Stevie, all of your comments about hating driving the other day, I agree with all of them. They're all stupid. I hate all drivers. I hate... The worst part about drivers, I don't even know if you mentioned this, but the very, very worst part about drivers are people that think that they're more important than other people on the road. Like, oh, I'm not gonna wait in this 30-minute line of cars. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut in at the very end. Yeah. I'm, like, I have to do that because I can't wait. I can't wait. These people can wait, but I can't wait. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry for all the swearing. I am just that angry. Oh my god. I can't even. I'll probably update you if I ever get back on the interstate. It keeps telling me I'm detouring to the interstate, but taking random fucking country back roads, like neighborhood back roads. These are literally just like like farms, literally in the middle of a farm field. It's so stupid. I'm so mad. Ugh. Okay, so today I wanted to make my video about my favorite things about Indianapolis. Originally it was supposed to be 10 things that I love about being from Indianapolis, or 10 things that I love about Indianapolis, but I don't think my camera's gonna last that long, so it'll be insert number here things that I love about Indianapolis. So let's go. Number one, I love the interstates in Indianapolis. If you don't know, Indianapolis is the crossroads of America, because so many interstates cross right through Indianapolis. It is like the most interstate heavy city in the country. So if one interstate is closed, you can take another one, because there's always another interstate to take. There are so many, and they run right through the city, and I love that means that I can go anywhere from Indianapolis. Like, I want to go to Cincinnati, I take 70. I want to go to Louisville, I take 65. I want to go to Chicago, I take 90. So there's always, 65. There's always an interstate to take. I take 69 to get up to school. So there's always an interstate to take directly to get to the next closest city. Two, I love the storms in Indianapolis. So that sounds kind of weird, but thunderstorms are really great. I enjoy them. I enjoy the rain, especially when it's like a little bit cooler. I know, so when they get like really bad, which they tend to sometimes do in Indianapolis, they're kind of scary, and I like stay down in my basement and like hide from them. But I think that the fact that we have so many thunderstorms gets me prepared for like the worst ones, and so like people in Michigan don't really recognize how like not a big deal thunderstorms are, like normal ones. So like when there's normal ones, I can appreciate them, and they're like terrified, and then everyone else is in their house and I'm just chilling, and it's cool. Okay, along the same lines as the weather and the raining and the thunderstorms thing. I also just really enjoy the weather in Indiana, which is something that you probably don't hear a lot. But because of where it is, and because it's between warm currents and cold currents, we can get any kind of weather there, and it can change anytime. So we get really, really cold winters, and we get really, really hot summers, and we get really nice falls and nice springs, and I really enjoy it. And even though it can be kind of like really iffy some days, you don't know how it's going to be, I just like really, really enjoy the fact that we've got such a dichotomy of weather, and I love that. My favorite thing from childhood about Indianapolis was the Indianapolis Children's Museum. I don't know if you've never heard of it. It's considered to be like the best children's museum in the country, maybe the world, I'm not really sure. I just know it's really awesome. I loved going there as a child, but when you walk in, there's like this big water clock where it's like drops water, and that's how it tells the time based on how much water is in there and whatnot. And it's like colored water, and everyone would always watch for it to change to 12 o'clock, I think. 12 to 1, because that's when it would like, all the water would drop out of it. It was really cool. I really love that clock. It's like a big memory of mine. All the other exhibits I enjoyed. I'm really looking forward to going back with my little nieces this summer. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Indianapolis. So as we cross back into Indiana, here's the Indiana-Kentucky Bridge. I have to say my next favorite thing about Indianapolis, though he no longer plays for Indianapolis, Peyton Manning. No explanation needed. So another one of my favorite things about Indianapolis, this might be kind of hard to describe, but they don't really have like a set way that they talk, people in Indianapolis. I know, like, I don't know if you've ever been on BuzzFeed, but they have like those maps where it shows you like where people say different colloquial phrases, like where people say soda, or they say pop, or they say Coke, and whatnot. If you ever look at those maps, if you look at Indiana, it's usually very like undefined, like usually white, because like there's no specific thing that we say. So like you could, in Indianapolis, hear someone say soda or pop or Coke, and no one really cares. We have that actually with a lot of things, and I've noticed that recently. So this next thing that's my favorite thing about Indianapolis is actually really, really specific, but my favorite restaurant of all time is in Indianapolis. It's called Yats, and I know they're expanding, and they've started to build some in Ohio, and so maybe eventually they'll move up to wherever I end up, maybe in Ann Arbor, maybe somewhere else. But right now, they're mostly just in Indianapolis, and it's my favorite restaurant ever, and that's really important to me, and so that's why I love Indianapolis. Another one of my favorite things about Indianapolis is that basically every single store ever is in Indianapolis, in the Indianapolis metro area, so if I ever want to go to any kind of store, basically, there is one in the area, and I can find one. But when it all comes down to it, the most important reason that I love Indianapolis is that, to me, this is 100% home. I'm trying to kind of grow out of that because I'm living in a new city, but I was born and raised here. I lived here for 18 and a half, a little bit more than that, years. I was born not too far down the street, so this has been my home for a very long time, so it's kind of hard to dissociate from that. So I still very much love Indianapolis. Stevie, I will see you next week. Have fun with finals. So I'm free from the horrible traffic that was. That was over like an hour and a half of a detour, but this is to you, Kentucky.